4264.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
President Biden's nominee for the comptroller of the currency, Saleh Omarova, says she wants to put an end to banking as we know it.
Wants to put an end to banking as we know it. And she wants to put an end to oil. To oil. Listen to this.
Here what I'm thinking about is primarily coal industry and oil and gas industry. A lot of the smaller players in that industry are going to probably go bankrupt in short order. At least we want them to go bankrupt if we want to tackle climate change, right?
Oh, yeah, right. We want them to go, yeah, I think it's a good idea, don't you? Yeah, let them go bankrupt. Let oil and gas go bankrupt. What do we care? Even though we don't have anything to replace it, windmills certainly aren't going to replace it. Windmills aren't going to replace oil and coal. Are you kidding me? Or solar panels. But we got another nut that's already in office. She's a senator.
This liberal will be all about socializing, would be about basically taking over and the government running all of your companies.
Do you plan to visit the border?
Yeah, I would think Harris thinks that's funny too. This is crazy, isn't it? This is unbelievable. This shows you the bad thing about politicians. They don't care about the country. Everything's about the party. It's all about the party. Lie for the party. Do anything for the party. We got to get the party back in. We need that power. They don't care about you or me. Inflation has now become the biggest threat to our entire economy and our system of government. And if you don't believe it, take a look at the gold prices. They're starting to move up. I've been telling my gold members this for, God, it has to be for 7-8 months now. I said, every day we're going to keep our eye on gold. I know everybody is all excited about the Bitcoin and all the different kind of coins. I said, but trust me when I tell you, I've been on this earth for 75 years. I've been in this market for 51 years. And one thing that never changes, when everything starts going bad, countries start hoarding gold. They're not going to hoard Bitcoin. They're going to hoard gold. And especially when we have the biggest threat ever. Inflation's at a 30-year high. Oh, wait a minute. I thought they said that was transitory. Transitory. I thought transitory. 30-year high? That's transitory? What are you, nuts? Interest or yields. Yields. For you poor people in the bond market, you're getting killed. 13-year high for yields. Interest rates. Oil, 12-year high. Housing, 126% from 2010. Homes were at $166,000. Today, the average home is $375,000. That's 126%. Just this year alone, they're up 16%. 16%. but wages aren't up 16%. It's unbelievable. And when the president was in Glasgow, what did he tell everybody? He said, everything's wonderful. Everything's wonderful. Things are already a hell of a lot better, he said. Really? A lot better? What's a lot better? Between 2008 and 2021, we printed and increased our money supply by $41 trillion. Not thousand, not millions, not billions, 41 trillion. That's incredible. You talk about inflation. Money supply increased by 336% just in the last 18 months. And they're telling us, don't worry about inflation. It's transitory. And inflation's only 5%. We're just going to steal 5% of your money, the value of your money. We're going to steal just 5% of your money because we need prices to go up by 5%. We need inflation to go up by 5%. Remember what they do. Inflation and pricing is the same thing. They believe, okay, the progressives who are in charge, they want prices to go up, which is the same thing as inflation. And they tell you, boy, you get those prices up 5%. They were up first 2%. Remember they said inflation rate was 2%? Now they say, boy, get those prices up 5%. Our economy's going to really roll. Isn't that stupid? So our money increased by 336% in the last 18 months. 11 trillion of that 336% increase was injected into the stock market. That's right. The market's financially engineered to go up, and it's going to keep going up. It's not going to stop. It's going to keep going up, as I told you. And I told my members, it's going to keep going up until the time Powell decides it's not going to go up anymore. And when is that? That's when inflation gets so bad. And they sit down at the dinner table at the end of the month to do their bills, and they got to say, oh, my God, we got to make a choice. Do we pay our credit card or do we pay our house payment? Now, the reason that has not happened so far is because they have printed $41 trillion. They've increased the money supply 336%. And that's what they do. They've been injecting it into the stock market, injecting it into the economy to prop it up. How do they do that? By keeping interest rates near zero. And then by doing all these social programs. You know what they were. First they send you a check for $1,400. Then they send you a check for $300 to match the check you're getting from the state for $300. That's $600 you get. Then they give you subsidies. Then they tell you, don't worry about your house payment. Don't worry about your rent. You're not going to pay that for a while. Don't worry about your utilities. We'll pay for those. And now they're going to do more of that. But there's no inflation, they tell us. Inflation's just 5%. Wholesale prices have gone up the highest in 30 years. The amount of the wholesalers, if they're going to, you go to the bakery, to your favorite bakery tomorrow morning, and you see prices are up, that's because the wholesalers who sell them the flour and all the stuff they need at the bakery is going up. Are you kidding me? What are you, nuts? You got gasoline prices accelerating. They just went up 12% in the last 4 weeks. So what do? We got to be in the right stocks. And also, you got to be prepared. When this market crashes, when it's going to crash so big, it's going to be the biggest crash ever. But remember, it's not going to crash until Biden hears that cry, I can't pay my credit card and my mortgage. What do I do? We're not there yet because of all this printing of money, which they say is not inflationary.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande. Is your business prepared to respond to any emergency in the workplace? Well, you better be. Let over 30 years of law enforcement experience go to work for you. Boyd Investigative Group is here for all your business security needs. I know. I use them. They're terrific. Call today for your free confidential consultation. 941-724-4535. That's 941-724-4535. Or visit them on the website, BoydInvestigativeGroup.com.
License number A1900020.
With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Thinking about investing in the stock market? Go to philsgang.com, where we have over 50 years experience in trading and investing in the stock market. Phil's Gang teaches you how to make profits in the market with stock chart analysis, up-to-the-minute alerts, and always keeping you informed with professional guidance in long and short-term positions. Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about it.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Okay, remember tonight now, go to my Phil's site, philsgang.com site, my YouTube channel, go to my YouTube channel where I have a program I do every Friday night that I record about the unfolding of the stock market crash. And as I tell you, it's not to tell you, okay, the market's going to crash December 22nd at 2 in the afternoon. That's silly. It's to give you the evidence that we can show you that there's a divergence where the stock market is being pushed up artificially by all this inflation. That's why the market's going up, because of inflation, not earnings, not business investment, not productivity, not top-line sales, not margins, going up for one reason. All of this money they're printing between 2008 and now, $41 trillion. Do you know how much 41 trillion is? It's a lot of money. So I'm bringing on Steve, head of our education department. Hi, Steve.
Hey, Phil.
What a week we had with this inflation. And, when we talk about inflation, and people don't believe it because we're lied to all the time by the president, by the Federal Reserve, that inflation is only 5%. First it was 2%, now 5%. Now, how can anybody believe it's 5% when the money supply, they printed money, increased the money supply by 336% in 18 months. So you want us to believe inflation is worth 5%? Just go look at gold. When we talk about gold, I mean, this was a great week with our gold. I think we were ahead of everybody else because, I said for a long time, the last 8-9 months, Bitcoin, I said, watch your gold. So let's talk a little bit about the gold. When you spotted that rally in gold, how did you spot? What were you looking at?
Well, I'm always looking up at my Pro 2 chart. I'm looking at my stochastic at the bottom of the chart because it tells me when you start to see the money start to flow into the company. And of course, when our chart turns green, then I start to add to the position. But I've been holding a scout in this for a little while, maybe a little bit longer than some people, but since about July 29th. And we started adding to it. Let's see here, I'll give you the exact date that I added to Anglo Gold. I added the first time, let's see here.
When
I lost it.
Let's talk about the scout. When you say you put a scout on.
Okay, so
explain to what scouts are, how we utilize those. Scouts are really important because, as you know, it's a risk-off technique we use.
That's right. So a scout for me is just one share. We go out, we buy one share. It's a bookmark in the position. You can't lose money on it, or you can't lose a lot of money on it. And also, you can't make a lot of money on it either when it goes up. But that's the point of it is to not make a lot of money and to not lose a lot of money. And then when a time comes to add to your position, the right time, you're going to know because you're invested with that small amount of money in the stock because you're going to be paying attention, and then you're going to add the right amount of shares or add comfortably to your position. And the date that I added to Anglo Gold was October 22nd, and then I added again just back about last week on November 5th.
Well, the good thing about we use scouts, if you will. Scouts are a great thing because a lot of people, they'll look at a stock and they say, hey, this stock is going to start moving up soon. But then they forget to go back to it. Then all of a sudden it moves up and they go, oh my God, I missed that big move. It prevents that from happening. It's like what Steve said, it's a bookmark. Scouts are important because there's a lot of people, a lot of investors who see a stock, looks good, setting up. You say, I'm going to watch that stock. I'm going to come back to it. And you don't. You forget about it. Having a scout on where you buy just 1 or 2 shares, you have to pay attention. You've got one share on. You're not trying to make money. And as I always say, Steve, and I tell everybody, our whole team here, our job, the first thing is to make sure people don't lose money. It's so easy to pick stocks. It's so easy to make money in stocks if you know what you're doing. The toughest thing is to make sure the gang members don't lose money because they have terrible habits. They come in here, they listen to Kramer, they listen to this one, they got all these bad habits. And the scout is a wonderful way of making sure that you have risk off. The other thing that we use too is stops. Stops are a great thing. It's an insurance policy. Most people don't use. Explain what the scouts are.
Well, the stop.
Stops are. Sorry.
Yeah. The stop is simply it's an order to exit a position if it goes against you, right? And you get to choose, what is a comfortable loss for you before you put that on, and that way, if you're going into a position and it's okay to lose $100, you just set the stop where it'll take you out when you've lost $100, right? You can do it with a percentage, or you can do it by points. 1 to 4 points is usually what we use. But sometimes I like to use the trailing stops because you can't sit there all the time and babysit your stocks. You can, and you need to walk away. Sometimes you're traveling, whatever. You use a trailing stop, and it'll always be behind your stock by that certain percentage. And if for some reason the stock goes beyond that percent, it'll get you out and keep you from losing a lot of money.
Yeah, and it's just like an insurance policy. So many people don't know about that. You go in, you buy a stock, you put a stop in, say, okay, I'm going to put a stop in, so if it drops 2%, it gets me out. If it drops 3, 4, whatever you select. And the more your stock goes up, the more money you're making, you just give yourself more room. Instead of a 2% stock, go to a 10% stock or whatever. So the thing this week that really got me the most, though, is we're being lied to about how this program, the Build Back Better stupid program, okay, they're telling us, Steve, that they're going to cut all this inflation. What are you, nuts? We're going to talk about this big lie when we get back. We have a great cut, too, I'm going to play. Be right back.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. Banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG, try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
PhilsGang.com is not the only way you can stay in touch with what we do throughout the day. With today's social media, you can stay up to date with Phil's Gang current events. You can find Phil's Gang on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and more. Phil's Gang Radio Show is broadcast live Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, Periscope, and, of course, YouTube. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Go to philsgang.com and find our social media buttons at the top left-hand corner of the site. philsgang.com and Phil's Gang Social Media, keeping you connected.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join the gang, 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-GANG or 877-600-4264. That's 600-4264. 877. That'll confuse you. 877-600-4264. Okay. So, all right. So, Steve, here's what's interesting this week here. So, we have this inflation going on. Now, what's happening is that the yield, the treasury yield, was down around 146 basis points. Now, when Treasury yields are down below 150, that's great for big tech stocks. Tech stocks really move, and we always make money when we watch and we want to see that yield drop. But what's interesting this week, the yield went from 146 up to 156, but it wasn't yet high enough to really move to big tech stocks. Other than, of course, you have the tourists come in and they always buy their Microsoft and Apple, and then they always get hurt. So what I've seen this week is interesting is the yield is not low enough to move big tech stocks, and the yield is not above 165, not high enough to move the bank stocks. So you got the bank stocks stalled, and you got the tech stocks stalled, and the money is now being rotated into the metal stocks like copper. Copper did well this week. Did you see that?
I did see that. FCX particularly shot up real nice.
And we got in that nice. We had our members in that real early. So I'm going to play something to you because this drives me nuts. Here's Biden. Totally lying.
If we pass the other two things I'm trying to get done, we will in fact reduce inflation.
Reduce inflation. Are you kidding me? Tell me how he's going to reduce inflation by spending $1.7 trillion on top of the $1 trillion. Oh, how are they going to do $3 trillion and not have inflation? Because they're printing the money, aren't they, Steve?
I mean, to me, when I heard him say, "Hey, I get it. I get it. You know, groceries are higher, gas is higher. You know, everything is higher. But hey, you know what? My Build Back Better plan's going to fix it all when I print $2 more trillion and pump it into this, basically into our taxes, because that's where it's going to hit us right in the gut."
Yeah, and he's going to. I mean, I can't believe not only is inflation going, taxes are going to go up, and he's saying that he's not going to hit anybody that makes less than $400,000 a year. So you better be in the right stocks. This is one thing: people are not in the right group of stocks. The man's lying. We got such tremendous inflation. How we get the inflation is through the printing of money. But they lie, and they say printing of money doesn't create inflation. It's the spending of the money. Well, that's like the chicken and the egg. What came first, the chicken or the egg? If you didn't print the money, you couldn't spend it. I mean, this is a game they play because they want to continue to make you think there's no inflation, okay? And then they lie and say, well, with our programs we're going to have, our social programs, they're going to be so good, we're going to really grow this economy. And then inflation's going to go right down. The only way you get inflation to go down is, again, to raise rates. And that's why what frustrates me is most people, don't know which stock to be in. They're confused. And then here's even worse. Here is his buddy, okay, Ron Klein, chief of staff. He's basically saying to Biden, "Hey, Joe, you lied. I'll swear to it." Listen to this.
The Build Back Better bill is the best answer we have to bring those costs down. By the way, it also...
Wait a minute. It's the best answer we have to bring costs down? Steve, isn't the best answer to bring this inflation down raise rates?
Absolutely. You got to raise the rates. Yep. Yes, definitely, Phil.
And there's nothing that takes the place of raising rates to knock down inflation. So as long as this inflation continues, I think you got to just keep staying with those commodity stocks. I don't think you want to be stuck. I'd be taking a lot of my money out of the big tech stocks right now. I really would with this inflation going. I just don't see this inflation going down, and I just don't see how these tech stocks are going to be in position when these yields are going to. I believe are going to keep climbing.
Yeah, well, just looking at the charts, I mean, when you look at the big banks, right, you're looking at all the bank stocks, the financials, which should be going up with the higher rates, like you said, and then you're looking at, the big tech stocks, which should be, going up with a lower rate, and they're both not. They're both stalled. They're just kind of on standstill, and that's when we started to see the shift into golds, silvers, coppers. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
Phil.
we did great on those, and those are working great. If you want to listen, folks, if you're not a gang member, and we are probably in the most difficult time, but in a time that you can make a lot of money. What do I mean by that? For 13 years, the stock market has been financially engineered to go up. They print all this money not to grow our economy, not to make things better for you and your family. They could care less about you and your family. Their whole deal the last 13 years was one thing: print all the money so we can keep interest rates at zero, and then we can artificially push up the stock market so the stock market to go up doesn't need profits, doesn't need earnings. And we can just keep pushing earnings up by buying our own stock. And the more stock we buy, then our stock, the amount of stock we have outstanding goes down. And then now we're in a position that we can take these lousy earnings, spread them over less outstanding shares, and the stock will go up $5 instead of going down. And they do this every month. And the problem is people don't know which stock to be in. They don't know which group to be in. They look for guidance from the fake business news networks, and their job is to put you in a frame of mind of that you're excited and you're happy and everything's great and you're euphoric and you just feel like, boy, the market's never going to come down again. Never going to come down again. And we see that what we call them the tourist investors, right?
Yes.
Explain to tourist investor how we identify that the market's going to crash when we watch them.
Well, it's easy. I mean, when you're watching the color-coded chart turn red, it's telling you all the money's coming out. So why do you want to be in a stock or anything when the money's coming out? I have to tell the people every day. When you buy your house, do you buy it at the bottom when it's the cheapest possible price with the expectation that it's going to go up so you can make a profit one day, or do you buy it high, hoping that it'll go down? I think common sense isn't as common as we'd like it to be.
Well, the other thing that drives me nuts is when the stock market's going up, 99% of the people don't know why. They think it's going up because they think the stock market's the economy. The stock market is not the economy. It has nothing to do with the economy. It used to. I mean, it's never been the economy, but you used to have the economy and the market linked. But now it's not even linked. So the stock market goes up for one reason, right? Zero rates. And keep printing that money. But on the other hand, what happens is you have another trend going the other way called our crash trend, which you will see tonight. It's free if you go to my Phil's Gang website, my YouTube channel. And I did a great, and you're going to love it tonight, because tonight I have graphs and everything to show you why, even though the stock market's going up, where's the evidence that the market's going to go, it's going to crash. And I have a beautiful chart for you to look at. Check it out tonight. It's free.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day?
That's unacceptable. African American women die from breast cancer nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Thinking about investing in the stock market? Go to philsgang.com, where we have over 50 years experience in trading and investing in the stock market. Phil's Gang teaches you how to make profits in the market with stock chart analysis, up-to-the-minute alerts, and always keeping you informed with professional guidance in long and short-term positions. Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about it.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Join my gang, 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-GANG, or go to my website. And if you go to the website, sign up, make sure you go and click on Working Investor Group. That's the group of stock. That's our portfolio. And every day, Steve goes over that portfolio with you so that you know exactly what to do with your stock. Nobody else does that. Tell me, I'll guarantee you, nobody can email me right now and say, oh no, every day my broker goes over each one of my stocks, or I'm in a 401k and I go over my stocks that are in a 401k so I know exactly where I am with each stock. And they tell me when to buy, when to sell, when to add, when to run like hell. And they tell me when to make money when it's going down by selling it short, which by God, you got to learn. And we do this every day to show people how to short a stock so that we can get you out of that 80% of people who lose money all the time. 80%. Look it up yourself. It's so frustrating, right, Steve? 80% of people lose money, and all they got, and the reason they lose money, they don't know when to get out. And when they do get out, say, "Gee, the stock is going to start going down, I better get out." They look for another stock instead of just switching their position.
It drives me nuts. I see people all the time.
Crazy.
Just, why hang on to a stock too when you know it's going down? With the idea that it's going to come back someday. Well, someday you could go broke too.
Isn't that crazy?
There's just no, to me, that's just, I can't wrap my head around it sometimes.
Well, it's just human nature. First of all, if they make a mistake in the stock, it's always somebody else's fault. If they pick a stock and it goes against them, something happened to their computer, the power went down, or a bird flew by distracting them, or some stupid excuse. They never can admit they made a mistake. That's the first problem you have. Admit to yourself you screwed up. Cut your loss quick. And if you have the skill to short a stock, change your position, so when the stock is going down, the market is going down, we're going to have the biggest crash in history. And I'll guarantee you, the same amount of people right now, what we call our tourist stocks, almost $1 trillion that have been borrowing on margin. $1 trillion. Do you know how fast this market's going to go down? As soon as Powell sees that the inflation's put people in the corner, they got to choose between paying their credit card or their house. And when he raises that rate, this market's going to go down so fast. You got almost $1 trillion people borrowed, and they're going to have to meet that call. They're going to get calls from their brokers saying, "You got to send me a check. You got to send me a check." And they say, no, just sell my stock, just sell my stock. It's going to be the biggest crash I've ever seen, just because of the margin money alone. It's just crazy, and people they don't want to learn how to sell short. And that's all they have to do is learn how to sell short. Steve, I want you, this is another thing here. Kramer drives me nuts. Every time somebody calls him about a stock, it's always great. And you ever notice, well, I guess stock is a good stock. I know, CEO's on my show. CEO's on my show. He's a good guy. CEO's on my show. I buy it. I'm going to give you 2 stocks, and then tell the folks what you would be telling a gang member if they asked to buy it. Here, let's start with MITK. Listen to what Kramer says. Then we'll look at our chart.
My take. I'm just not sure why it's very low volume.
You're absolutely right. The volume is very low. I think it's a buy.
He thinks this is a buy. I think it's a buy.
Well, he's never right. I mean, his percent that he's right's like 1%, I would say. Every time I hear him say, hey, you should buy this stock, I'm always thinking, not me, I'm going to sell it short.
We short against him all the time.
Yeah, because, first of all, you've got what's called a trend, and the trend is down, so you don't buy against trend. Second of all, you got the money flow coming out. Our candles are red. It's telling us the big institutional buyers are taking their money out of the stock. Again, why would you do something different than what the big institutions are doing? It makes no sense.
And that's why the color-coded chart works, because when this chart turns from green to red, I'm looking at MITK here, right? Look where that turned from green to red. How beautiful a short that was. I mean, it set it up perfect. And that short was, you could have went in and sold it short at about $19.67, right? And then it dropped all the way down to $17.23, called, again, risk off. Now that's a nice little percentage with risk off. Here, I'm gonna give you another one. Nokia. Look at this one. He tells people to buy it. Let's play Nokia here next. Come on here you go.
What do you think of Nokia? Nokia? I like Nokia. They're making a comeback. Nokia's doing well. I think you might have a winner there.
I like Nokia. Nokia's doing well. I like it.
Well, all I gotta say is,
he's an idiot.
At one point Nokia made a great phone, but that's not going to mean that their stock's going up. This stock is it's definitely coming down. It's got what we call lower highs and lower lows, which means the trend is now down. Everything's rolling over on it. The money flow's coming out. You don't buy this stock, and I don't know.
And it's under the 50-day.
Just don't listen to Kramer; you'll be fine.
It's under the 50-day moving. Yeah, you better. If every stock he tells you to buy, short it. You'll make more money. But take Nokia for example. Nokia is setting up for a beautiful sell short because it's turned red. So our color technology, the algorithms identify money is coming out. Right. That's why it turned red. It also dropped below its support, the 50-day moving average. The trend, we had a crossover between red and yellow telling us that confirmed the red color that turned from green to red. And we had that crossover. So if you line up what we have on our chart, you see it turn red, then you go and you check right below it. There's two lines, red and yellow, make sure they are crossing over. And then you look and see if it's below the 50-day moving average. And then you got a beautiful short going. You would never buy that stock, never. You know, the stock market, Steve, is the hardest part about the stock market is trying to get people to short. And as you just said a moment ago, it's really tough and it's sad because markets are financially engineered. These bubbles are made purposely. The wealthy, the people who own the Federal Reserve, okay, they are our owners.
You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear.
And they got all the inside information. Now, these are the people who own the Federal Reserve, who control the interest rate, control the money. You don't want to listen to fake Business News Network because they're in bed with them. They're in bed with them. Because these financial shows, they're on every day. Remember, their job is they got to get you to keep buying stuff. They got to make you feel good because they can't get advertisers otherwise. If you take CNBC, if you take Fox Business and CNBC and Bloomberg, the way they fight for their advertising money is unbelievable. So if Ford's going to spend $22 million in the next quarter, they're fighting with each other to get that $22 million. So how do they do it? Whatever network sounds more upbeat, that everything's great, everything's terrific, they're going to get most of that money, especially the car. Most of the money comes from the auto dealers. Most of the money comes from GM, Ford, and the rest of them. And so their job is to remember, they got to pay for their airtime. They need advertisers, or they got to take it out of their own pocket. So the advertisers are only going to go to people, to the network, who's upbeat and say, boy, the economy's great. It's a rocket ship. We don't do that here. I don't have advertisers. I don't. I learned that lesson a long time ago because they put you in a box. If you're talking the market's going to crash, I remember, I've always told you that story, Steve, remember? And all of a sudden I'm getting calls from my advertisers. Oh, you can't do that. You're too negative. What? I'm telling the truth. Okay, Steve, thank you very much. Hey, join my gang free for 10 days. 877-600-GANG, and we're here to help you.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Bill Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to make my dream.